Looks like we are ready to go live. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Painted Live. Hope you guys are having a fantastic Monday evening. Here we go with another one of these. Today, I was not planning on streaming. True story. No intention of streaming. And I am gonna chill for a minute. Let me send him a note. Oops. All right. So, anyways, yeah, just doing the damn thing, everybody. And now we are live. We're working on happy belated. Hey, what's up, Luchesi? What's up, man? Oh, it's not working. The thing is not working. Refresh. There it goes. Hey, what's up, Matt? Hi. All right, people, we're gonna get to the painting here. I'm painting some Mythic Battles Pantheon once again. I got a lot of stuff coming in. There's a lot of stuff, like people be wanting commissions and whatnot. And I have other projects and stuff. So I'm trying to get this challenge done in the middle of all that. So right now we're just doing some color blocking on this Homie Homes right here. Calling him Homie Homes, the homie of homers. This is Helios. And I'm actually working on this little batch of Mythic Battles. So we'll get into that. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. What are we going to do tonight? We're just going to paint. Like I said, I had not planned on turning on the camera, but I was having some conversations earlier while I was painting, and I was like, I'm painting! So I decided to hop in the Discord to kind of spur conversations that way. And then it was like, well, I'm in the Discord. I might as well just hit the record button. And so here we are. So yeah, we're just doing some painting. Let us know what you're painting, what you should be painting, or what you should be painting for you folks in the July painting challenge. Dude, where? I cannot find stuff. You guys have a broader view of my desk right now because I'm working on bigger models. So you guys are seeing how crowded this desk is, and I'm just like pushing stuff out of the way so that we don't have to see it. Hey, what's up, Nelson? This video is going to get canceled for what? Well, if I read your comment, it's going to get canceled. Yeah, this is pretty dark imagery in a certain context, right? Gotta be careful, man. Got to be careful. What's going on, Nelson? But yeah, got a lot of stuff. Got a lot of stuff on the plate right now, so I'm gonna push valiantly through this MVP stuff so that I can accommodate the other things that are looming in the background. And who knows, we might actually be able to get some gaming in at some point. I'm hoping for it. I am severely hoping for it. Maybe Friday. I'll probably be looking for a game Friday. Slowly making progress on Ma Tuckett's crew, but been slacking. Yeah, dude, we gotta. I know it's easy to put the paints down, especially like where I'm at. You get a little fatigue at this point, just doing all this stuff. Right? This isn't the as cool as these models are. it can be difficult to keep your attention on them for long. Oops, I guess that's all going to be brown now. This Helios dude is going to be a lot of brown now that I've started painting this way. All good, he will belong to me if you haven't painted. I'm pretty sure I painted your copy. I'm pretty sure I painted one of these for you. I remember this sculpt vividly, so I'm pretty sure I did one of these for you. But I am on the last group of models for one of the 3 trays that I'm trying to finish. That will give me 1 complete tray when this is all said and done. And the other tray is actually very, very close to being done as well. So it's not too bad. So I'll knock out those 2 trays, and then literally it's just the partial half tray. I think the little side thing that I think has a phoenix in it. And then we're done with what we've committed to for the challenge. And then I can start painting all your guys' stuff. I mean Nelson's stuff. I mean stuff that Nelson is going to have painted. I did agree to paint. I'm going to paint Chris's Suicide Squad. So that'll be fun. So I should have some of that. That will probably be captured along with the challenge, unless I somehow get really, really slow. So there's that. Why is this guy like wrapped up like a wicker basket? Like he has, look at all this. I think, you guys tell me, do you think bandages, when they have all these bandages on the model, did the 3D artist just get too lazy to texture, like to shape, you know, anatomically correct legs? Is it just easier to kind of scribble in the CAD to get this to happen so that you don't have to deal? You guys tell me. All right, let's do, I'm trying to find, so yeah, this is Helios. He's a god. I guess that's all you really need to know about him. He has this whip, and his legs are made out of wicker or whatever. Right? He just looks like a giant. From the bottom, he just looks like he looks like he's wearing a wicker hamper. Like he just threw somebody's laundry out. This is mine now, and decided to wear it. You'll see, I look stylish in this. Stop making fun of me. Look at him pointing. So he's pointing, he's whipping this way, and he's pointing this way. He wants whatever, you know, he's whipping to move that way. Oh, let's do, so he's going to be all kind of warm colors. We're not going to have that many cool colors on Helios because he's, you know, the sunny sun god. Anyway, luckily Monday is behind us now. And we can just relax and do this. I like doing this. It's a good way to decompress, get the day out of the way. That's like something I've been working on a lot, man. Decompressing, like figuring out how to stop stressing out or being angry. I don't know about you guys, but shit gets me, like these days, shit gets me all stressed out and angry. And I'm like, is it really worth it though? Is it? I ask myself that. And I also ask myself, like, I think a lot of people, myself included here, are somewhat, we're almost like sort of addicted to the anger and frustration of everything that's going on. I hate to admit it, but like, there's a part of me that's kind of addicted to the drama, right? And I'm like, if I just unplug for a little bit, get some perspective, calm the F down, paint my models, maybe I won't be such a dick all the time. No, I mean, we know I'm still going to be a dick. We know that. We know that. But maybe I'll be maybe I won't be such an outward dick. Maybe I'll just be, a regular old quiet dick. You never know. We all have goals. Anyway, here's my. We're gonna give him dark hair. So we're gonna get this guy all blocked out, and then I'll show you what's up with the other models that are being painted as part of this batch. If you want a topic to rant on, I'd love to hear your take on the Zaha incident yesterday. What's the Zaha incident? I was not paying attention. I'm going to need to stop and look this up. I don't know this Zaha incident. For the sake of censorship, I will say I agree with whatever CNN tells me. Let me see. We'll look it up though. You got me curious. If you want me to give a take on it, I will gladly do that. Hulk and Batman. Batman and Hulk thrive on anger. I think that, see, I grew up a lot of my life kind of understanding that anger is a pretty damn solid motivator for me personally. And it's true. Like, anger springs me into action, and I actually, like, especially at work, I get shit done faster when I'm angry. I get things done more efficiently when I'm annoyed, or somebody's working my nerves, and it's like, okay, punk, let's see what you got. And then I work better just to spite people. But I've been learning lately that is not the best way to go about stuff. I know, right? We learn things all the time, and I'm trying to get better about that. Instead of being I'm like the resident Bill Burr of painting. Like, I can't be that guy all the time. But let's get this guy blocked so that I can look stuff up while he's drying. So you can see I'm just throwing, like, slapping a lot of contrast on this dude to get him underway. I don't even know what the question of the day is. I gotta look that up too. I don't even know what Zaha is. I'm thinking there's a Zaha Miniatures, because there's a miniature company named everything these days. Let's see. Everybody got a miniature company. But it's like I always say, right? It's like a record label. It's like back when everybody was like, oh man, I'm starting a record label. Anyways, let's see. Hey, what's up, Cameron? Long time, man. How you been? All right. So what do I Google? Zaha? What was the Zaha news? Zaha. Well, Crystal Palace I don't know what this is. Let's see. Wilfred Zaha was subject to online racist abuse of Crystal Palace's Premier League match. Okay. Posted on Twitter. Oh, okay. So then somebody sent him a bad words. Ah, man. And then on the side of this thing, it's got Kelly Preston, who was my girl for the longest time, and she's dead. Rip Kelly Preston. So sad. You better not score tomorrow, you black thing, or I'll come to your house dressed as a ghost. Oh, okay. And I'm not even going to read the other things, but other abusive messages. It's what? Okay. So, it looks like online abuse, instant outrage. You know, it's triggering the emotional response that the public always has. So we're gonna go down this. We're gonna go on this roller coaster again. Yeah, this is from Mythic Battles Pantheon, which is a Kickstarter board game with 9 million pieces, which I'm painting for the July painting challenge. While I'm letting that dry, let me show off a couple of the other ones that I'm working on right now. So it's a bunch of monster stuff right now. So we got this little man's. We got a little satyr here. There's a little satyr, and then you got a shikome or a harpy, whatever. You know, I call her shikome. You call her a harpy, whatever you're feeling. And then you got big old Pan here, right? So you got Pan, who's looking pretty dope. I love Pan. Whoa. There's autofocus. So there's Pan. You can see he's all wrapped up in shit in his arms. And then we got, I don't even know what this thing is. We'll call him Tired Shenron. Right? So you get this thing, which autofocus refuses to show off. Come on, autofocus. There we go. He's fun. He just needs a little yellow in his eyes, maybe some red, I don't know. But he's fun. I like him. Yeah. And so I'm working on that so far. And then we got, and so this is Helios. So we're working on Helios right now. And then we got Hermes. So Hermes running at you. You know, here's the thing. I think, okay, what I'm about to say is just, it shouldn't be news to anybody, and I know that my audience is a lot more level-headed than your average, your average run-of-the-mill, pleb person. But when stuff like this happens in the news, there's always that instant knee-jerk reaction, and you have to wonder how, whether or not this is going to be another one of those times, right? So call me a dick if you want, because I am. But I always look at instances like that, and yeah, it evokes a little emotional response from me, like, oh man, that was really effed up, or whatever. Like, oh my god, that's horrible. That's horrible. And then the next whisper in my head was, if it's true. Which is, like I said, I'm a skeptical person. I apply skepticism to everything, especially when it's something I want to believe is true. And I think that's the best attitude you could possibly have. So, when you're like, oh man, that sounds really true. But I always look at, does this elicit an emotional response? What are the parties' gain or lose in this type of situation, and you start applying that sort of second or third degree, and and the general public will look at you like you're a dick just for saying, hey, can we at least like calm the F down for a second and just see, like, look at it objectively. Like, is this really a thing? Does a person have a reason to lie? Is there something that, could that noose in the garage really just been the pull for the garage door that was that way? There's there's a question. It comes in the back of my head, and the reason why it does is because you have to be, because there's stuff that you want to believe. There's stuff that your brain, you have implicit bias. I firmly believe that. Everybody has implicit bias. And you want to believe specific narratives. And some of them, and so these things happen, and you would be foolish to think that people, that there aren't forces at work to try to get you to, to elicit or to demonstrate an emotional response. Okay? There's stuff like that, and I don't really want to get into this topic too much. It's kind of, frankly, these are conversations that I have in my home, and I have them with family, and I have them with private individuals, and I just collect a lot of different perspectives. That's just me. I just collect those different perspectives. But typically, let's say, okay, and this is a sad admission, but I'll say it here. I actually used to be a Christian, right? I used to be a Christian for a very short period of time. But I was a very skeptical Christian. So obviously, but anyways, so what would happen is when people tell me, "Oh, don't worry, that business is Christian," or "This guy, don't worry, he's a good Christian man," or this person, oh, they follow Christian practices, right? As a Christian, that wouldn't make me feel any more comfortable. In fact, that would make me doubly skeptical. And I think that's what people need. You need to be that. And I don't call myself anything anymore. I'm sorry, I just said it. But I don't like labels at all, right? I don't like any of that at all. So it's because I don't want to align with people. I want to align with ideas. That makes sense. There's idea of like, oh, I support that idea. I support that idea. Doesn't mean I'm following the same track as you. Doesn't mean it's this crazy notion where I look at shit and make up my own mind about it, right? So, anyways, my nature is to apply skepticism to everything, especially when I want to believe in it. And then if I want to believe in something, I always check myself. Why do you want to believe in this kind of stuff, right? Why? And I'm not saying it's the best method, but it's a method that works for me. That healthy skepticism can be very beneficial, and you should always apply it, even like I said, especially with things that you want to believe, especially with things that on the surface would agree with your worldview or your quote unquote alignment, any of that. And you should constantly be cross-examining yourself and checking yourself. Again, that's just me, and that's how I choose to look at stuff like this. If I'm being honest with you, in this particular instance, I just don't even. It doesn't even really. I'm not even gonna comment on it. Hey, what's up, War Boss? What up, man? So yeah, I don't know. It didn't really grab me. I'm just gonna paint. I'm gonna enjoy my life and paint, but I do think that that's a thing. I do think that. Yeah, see, this is our chat here. War Boss can get like it's late night. We just jump into real stuff. So, anyways, yeah. let's switch gears here, because I don't know. You know what, Lucchesi, I will promise you this. I will look into it myself, and I'll get back to you in a couple of days, and I'll have some weird formulated answer that doesn't make sense to anybody, because it's usually how I proceed with this kind of stuff. All right, I need to look at what the question of the day is, so I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna head over to. Oh, can I do this without leaving my? No, I think I can. I'm in the. I promise you, Warboss, we will talk about painting. I was going to ask you a question, anyways. I had a question for you, sir. Um, since tomorrow is the 14-day. Since tomorrow is day 14, and I think there is a recap that happens at day 14, I was planning on doing a week 2 recap. So I am inviting you, if you're going to be around tomorrow night, if you would like to hop on and recap the stuff that's been posted on my Discord and your Discord, and we'll just do that. Yeah, day 14 is a check-in. Okay, this is a good question. All right, guys. Question 13. At what age were you first introduced to the hobby? Who or what got you into it? This was submitted by Logan Swanson. All right, so what got me into the hobby? Yada yada yada. All right, so we'll do a little story time here. So, and Lucchesi, you were around for some of this, so you can chime in and tell me if I'm lying or if I'm making any of this up. But essentially, it started. I want to say it started in 1989 or 1990. One of those. I think it was. It was like high school times, and we were. I think we were looking at D&D stuff, and that was when we first started painting miniatures. So we were painting D&D miniatures. So we got into it from D&D, and then we would go to like a hobby store and find. We would look for miniatures like Ral Partha miniatures or Grenadier miniatures, that kind of thing. So we would go and look for D&D miniatures, and this is a very long time ago where the internet was not a thing, and no one taught you how to do anything. You didn't know. Nobody taught you how to paint or what brushes to buy, what equipment you needed. So, like a lot of painters at that time, we bought those gloss testers paints, and you know what I'm talking about. There's little square bottles. They're about that big, and it was testers model paints, and you would just buy those, and you would buy that crappy white brush. It was a brush like this with it was a round flared edge brush like this, but it was black bristle. You can still find those brushes in the hobby store. I mean, you can find those in like a Walmart. You can find those anywhere, but you'll find those testers kits. And so we bought lead Ral Partha miniatures. This is like, if you guys, here's a Ral Partha miniature. You want to see? That's a Kenku. Look at that guy. He's dope. He's dope. Anyways, so we would buy stuff like that to represent our D&D miniatures, and then we would apply these like testers paints to them, and then we found out that no, you don't want to use testers paints. They had, I'm sure there's one here on my desk somewhere. If I can find anything on my desk, it's like impossible. Oh, then you've got these types of paints. These were called IWM paints, but they were actually Ral Partha had a set like these, and we found these paints, and these like changed our lives. You're like, oh my god, there was this thing, and these paints are actually flat. They don't just dry gloss red. You're like painting your barbarian gloss red and going, why? I hate my life. Why am I doing this? And we would do that for like, yeah, man, cool. All right, Warboss, yeah, we'll set it up, dude. Probably like 9 o'clock tomorrow night, or maybe might be able to do a little earlier, but we'll see. Anyway, so we would paint those, and I remember the first time, like, we had these paints, we had the good, like, Ral Partha or the IWM paints, and I painted a barbarian, right? And I painted a barbarian, and instead of shading, I did the opposite of shading. In other words, I painted I painted the lighter color underneath, and then I painted the tops of the muscles darker. And the reason why I did that, my logic was, oh, I'm he's out in the sun and he's tanning, and it's like you look at your tan and you're like, oh, I'm light over here. You've looked at if you wear sandals, you notice that exposed part of your foot is dark and the rest of your foot is Caucasian for some reason. Um, when I used to wear socks and shorts, my feet were just pitch white. They were just pitch white. Uh, so I used to tell people that I lost my actual feet in a car accident, and they only had white people feet, and so they had to do what they had to do. I ended up with with Caucasian feet. So, anyways, I painted a barbarian that way, and I specifically remember that, and thinking it looked cool for about 5 minutes, and I'm like, wait, something's wrong, and I didn't understand what was wrong with my barbarian miniature. I was like, what? He just doesn't look right. That makes sense to me. That the tops of the muscles, his shoulders would be darker, right? Everybody, like, that's real life. So, anyways, it wasn't until we found a catalog for Citadel miniatures, and we found a catalog for Citadel miniatures, and we laid our eyes on the first time. For the very first time, we looked at a Space Marine, and we were like, "Oh man, what is that? That thing is crazy dope, man! It looks like Darth Vader, and a stormtrooper had a buff child with shoulder pads." Little did I know that design would just eventually one day just end up numb in my eyes. But the first time you see one, everybody can recall, like the first time you see one, you're like, whoa, what is that? And then the design that really got me was looking at an Eldar Warlock. And it was the Eldar Warlock, I don't even know if that miniature is here. Sometimes he hangs out around this area, but it was the Eldar Warlock. It's the one that's just standing there with the Witchblade, and he's got the Witchblade off to the side. A bunch of you guys will know the sculpt that I'm talking about. And he's standing beside his Witchblade, and he's just got the tip of the Witchblade standing on into the ground. That was the coolest looking miniature I'd ever seen in my entire life. I didn't even know they made miniatures that look like that, and so we headed to the hobby store, and we're like, okay, we got to find these Citadel miniatures. And that's the first time you see Warhammer 40,000 on a blister. There were blue blisters, and there was little printing, and they would say Eldar striking scorpions, and you'd get 5 striking scorpions in a standard blister. You know what I mean? Like, not like it would be like a blister like that big, and it would have striking scorpions in there. And I'm not kidding you guys. It was $8.99, $8.99 for a pack of lead striking scorpions. So my brother bought me that Eldar Warlock. So he bought me that Eldar Warlock because a single blister for miniature back then, $5, right? So I painted that Eldar Warlock, and when I studied all that catalog, and I tried to get the orange and the yellow right and the blue right, and there was gold freehand runes and all this other stuff, and I'm like, oh, and like any other idiot at the time, you're like, oh, I can make it look exactly like that. Not understanding the degree of difficulty that we were trying to achieve at that time. So we tried to get that, but we did not get that. And our basing was weird and all of that stuff. But I guess that was I was like 16 at the time, or 16 or 17. Uh, the other thing I remember is when we first started to paint miniatures. I thought that was so silly. Like I thought I was like, wait, you take a brush and you paint all these tiny little details on a tiny little man like this, and I'm like, man, okay, mind you, I was 16. I was like, man, I want to get myself a nice car, meet some girls, and like pretend I'm not a nerd. That was me. That was me at that age. Is like I was in the smart kid classes and whatnot in high school, and but I never I always kind of disdained that. Like I wanted to just kind of live my life, be a regular quote unquote member of society. Yeah, see, Warboss Day remembers those. He remembers the bottles and those terrible brushes. Yes, we all do. I may go buy one just for fun, just for nostalgia. Um, but at first I thought the hobby was kind of silly, and I was like, yeah, nobody, you don't want to do that. That's for like guys that just like those old men that just sit in their garage and they paint these little Civil War reenactments, and they paint all the uniforms, all the regiment specific colors, and they have these books in their garage that tell them what color to paint everything so that it's historically accurate. I'm like, I don't want to do that, right? Again, I was a 16-year-old boy. Don't give me that was. I'm not proud of this these days, guys. I'm not saying that. I'm just coming clean. This is really what happened when we first got into the hobby. This is literally what happened. So I didn't like any of that stuff, but I painted that miniature, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then like a couple days later, my brother went back to the hobby store, and he went and he bought me a pack of Swooping Hawks. Again, 5 Swooping Hawks for $8.99. It's crazy. You gonna bounce, Cameron? What's up, man? Yeah, man. Hope you're doing well. Hey, I just wanted to say, I know I haven't been saying this, but I've been watching your art on Instagram. Everybody here, check it out. I'm gonna put it in the chat. Okay, check this. Let me make sure I got your name right, but I believe that is the name of Cameron's Instagram, and he does these really cool characters. He does these monster characters, and he does them on like postal stuff. It's really cool. You should check it out if you guys like art, and it's kind of like it's a I guess the characteristic style. It's very cartoony, but also it's a little on the it's kind of like monstery cartoony. It's super cool. Check it out though. Love your stuff, dude. You got to tell me about your stickers and whatnot, because I want to rock some of that. I think that's awesome. You should actually look at maybe if you could figure out how to get those 3D printed, some of those characters, and we'll just paint miniatures out of them, man. That'd be sick. Anyway, good stuff, man. Take care, Cameron. So yeah, we're still doing the nostalgia talks right now. But so Swooping Hawks, right? Got a set of Swooping Hawks. Painted the Swooping Hawks, and then again in the catalog it has the Swooping Hawks, and they all have these different. They all have those like rainbow wings, and you're like, oh man, those rainbow wings are so cool. I want to do that on my Swooping Hawk. So I tried to do that. Didn't say I succeeded. But I'm like, yeah, I want to do that on my Swooping Hawks, right? Then, the next week, Striking Scorpions. I'm like, yeah, I like all of these ones called Eldar, I think they're called. I like all of those. And my brother kept bringing them in because I was saying, like, yeah, I like painting those, but I really don't want to get into this hobby. Like, this hobby's for nerds. Nobody should do this. This is all kind of dumb, guys. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be part of this. Anyways, fast forward about 2.5 weeks of just this cycle of, hey, I brought in more stuff. Then, towards the end there, he brings a book in. He hands me a yellow book. It's the Warhammer 40,000 compilation, right? Right, is published right towards the end of Rogue Trader. And then he has the red book, the Warhammer 40,000 Compendium. I still have the Warhammer 40,000 Compendium in this room, and I like to break it out from time to time and look at it because there's cool stuff in there. The very first Space Marine chapter I ever did was in there, the Mentor Legion Space Marines. They were owls, people, not eagles. GW, stop trying to rewrite your own history. The Mentor Legion was owls. They were not red eagles. Gosh. Anyway, so that's what kickstarted the hobby and everything for us. That's like where we started, was doing that, and that was the first game that we ever played. Was like we believe it or not, we played with fully painted armies. Okay, we played with fully painted armies for, well, forever. But I mean, we played only in our garage for, I want to say, about 6 months or so. And I remember this specifically. I'm going to tell a Lucchesi story here, which is one of my favorite stories. But hold on, I got to concentrate a minute. But anyways, so we played that way for about 6 months, and then one day we went to the hobby store and discovered that you could actually play this game in the hobby store. And that was just wild. Like, wait, people bring their miniatures with them. They bring their models out and they go to the hobby store and they play in public. That's just unheard of, right? We were playing on a ping pong table. We were making all of our own terrain and all that good stuff. So we played a game in public. And it was the weirdest thing because nobody actually, this is, again, towards the end of Rogue Trader. So there were rules, but Warhammer 40K was more like a... Dude, Grant Imahara died? Holy crap. That's 2 of the Mythbusters guys that died. Whoa. Okay, we'll get back to that in a minute. I'm going to finish my story here real quick then. Anyways, and it was just, I just remember how, like, what a culture shock it was the first time we were out in public and discovered that people were playing their miniatures without being painted. And we were like, wait, is that legal? Are you allowed to do that? I never heard of that. I didn't know that was a thing. You're allowed to do that? That's wild. So anyway, yeah, that was our start in the hobby. And I don't know. Before long, fast forward, was it 30 years later? Here we are. Grant Imahara died. That's so sad. I need to look at, man, now I got to go back on the internet and look this up again. Let's just see. Grant Imahara. He died at 49. Holy crap. He's not much older than me. See, that's how old I am. I'm at that age where it's like, oh, he was young, but you're not totally surprised if I die. Oh, no. No details about his death was provided. That's so sad. Did you know that I gamed with Grant Imahara? 2012. I forget. I did. This was at Comic-Con. We taught Grant Imahara stopped by the gaming area because Grant Imahara he's like a board gamer and he's he had some interest in miniature games and whatnot. And he stopped by the gaming area in Comic-Con, and sure enough, I was running Malifaux for several years. A few, I guess, no, really only like 3 or 4 years at Comic-Con. And then I started running a bunch of other games. But yeah, he came by. We played a game of, I taught him some Malifaux while he was at Comic-Con. That's so sad. He took a picture with one of the guys there because that guy there looked like one of the other Mythbusters guys. So, dang, that's really sad, man. Thanks for sharing, Nelson. People just, man, you guys are just sharing like awful news, though. What's the matter with you? It's all good. Yeah, cool, cool question. I like that question of the day. It's fun to talk about ye old days of getting into the hobby. Who would have thought though that this hobby would be literally the most, what's the word I'm looking for? It would be the most stable force in my life. Okay? Don't get me wrong. I just celebrated my 12-year anniversary with my wife yesterday. Right? 12 years with my wife. And yeah, that's a big deal. Meanwhile, I've got 30 years in miniature wargaming. You know? Interpret that how you like. I have 30 years in miniature wargaming. I have 12 years with my wife. My kids are 6 and 3. I've had my career, my current career for 17 years. Miniature wargaming, 30 years. I've had my online guild for 21 years. So that's coming up there, right? Like that's nothing to shake a stick at. But miniature wargaming for 30 years. Crazy times, right? I would be curious to see like if there's anything. I mean, literally by the time I die, which, you know, which could be very soon, statistically, if I die, like that marks 2/3 of my life. 2/3 of my life playing miniature games. Some people might be kind of whispering to some people would mutter to themselves like, "Oh, that's really pathetic." And you know what? Feel that way. All good. You do you. Yeah, you might think like some people might react that way, but that's just crazy. That's if I died, that would be 2/3 of my life. Like, what did you do? You know, it's important what you did in life. What did this man do in his life? He painted miniatures and he gamed. We have to designate somebody, you know, at my funeral to go up and say that because it's funny to me. So somebody, I'm looking for a volunteer in the chat. If you wanted to be that you could be that person. That could be you. That could be your. Listen, guys, that could be your unique. That could be your unique privilege. And the rest of you, you could say, "Whoa, I was there that night when they agreed on that, when they made the pact." That could be you. That's what I'm saying. Could be you. Anyway, so we're doing this thing. I like that story about the hobby, but man, that does put it into some perspective, right? This man died at 49. I am just a little bit younger than this guy. and I've been hobbying. I've been in the miniature wargaming hobby for 30 years. Is that right? Yeah, 30 years, dude. 1990. Crazy times. All right. We can continue blocking this dude out. So our chat has fallen silent. I'm wondering. I guess it's alarming that they did not disclose the nature of his death. That's a little alarming, you know, because yeah, 49 is no spring chicken, but 49 is still pretty young in the grand scheme of mortality, right? I get it. Your insurance policy changes, and you're in a bracket of people that statistically are. You start falling into those brackets of people that are a lot more likely to die. But that's still alarming. It's still concerning. Oh, should that comb be blue as well? We'll get to it. Beep, beep, beep. All right. Let's see. Uh-oh. It's getting quieter. Wikipedia says brain. Hey, what's up, Chris? How you been, man? Chris, are you moved and settled in now? Like, what's the deal, dude? Brain aneurysm. Oh gosh. Oh no. That's awful. That is awful. That could be how I go too. I'm not saying that in just like the most cavalier way. My sister fell very tragically ill from that. She had a brain aneurysm. She was 47 at the time. So that's a thing, man. That's a thing. That's so sad. That sounds about right too. You know, that it would be, something like that. That sounds very correct. But once again, we're going to apply skepticism because just like I said, that's me. I want to believe that's the truth. All right, let's double check. That's just how I operate. I have things in my room, but no computer has no desks. You're lying on the ground right now. Floor gang. You are floor gang. Yeah, dude. Well, your stuff is moving along. We're cranking through. We are cranking through this stuff, and it's super fun. And yeah, I hope you're enjoying your new digs, and you get settled soon. And we're doing a Guild Ball event this Saturday. You will be missed because I couldn't afford to sell. I couldn't, sell this stuff yet to pay for your plane ticket to come back out and game with us. I'm curious to see how many people actually show. It may be a very, very, very light thing because I don't know. In light of today's announcements from the governor, who knows? Who knows? I don't even know if that's a thing. If we are still having that. All right. I'm like losing track of where I'm supposed to be with these things, but we're gonna keep rocking. I like lost track. Yeah, but yeah, core box is done. I don't know if you've been keeping up, Chris, but the core box is done. This is Pandora's box, and I want to say I probably have somewhere between 15 and 20 miniatures to do on Pandora's box. And then we'll be done with that. And then I'm going to go back to commissions for a little bit, and then, you know, I might continue chipping away at this Kickstarter. Try to get it all done. There was a really cool, there's a really good video that I saw today from, I forget the name of the person, but I'm subscribed to this person. I think it's Flicks Tabletop something, Flicks Tabletop channel or something like that. Someone's knocking on my door. Hold on one sec, guys. They went away. Okay, so yeah, and they were asking, so it was Flicks Tabletop something. I'll find it. And they were asking about, you know, core games, board games, and core games and expansions, right? Like, what do you, be honest, what do you actually play when you back a game or when you buy a game and you compel yourself to buy all of the expansions, and so you complete your collection, you get it all up to speed, but the question he posed was, but what do you actually play? Do you just play the core box? Do you play all the expansions? Do you play some of the expansions? And my answer was, sadly I hardly play any of it. But when I do play, like if we're talking, for example, Super Dungeon Explorer or Zombicide or the Batman board game, we're talking about stuff that I would break out to play. The truth is, I pretty much only play whatever I can fit in the core box. So if I can only fit the core game in the core box, I will only play the core game. If I can fit the core game and some of the expansions in the core box, I will play the core game and some of the expansions. So for me, it's based entirely on what can fit in that core box. In the case of Mythic Battles Pantheon, and this is why I said that I don't, you know, I know I can paint it. I can't guarantee you that I will play it much because, you know, the thought of dragging all of those boxes out to go play a board game, like if I had to bring this to Gamecraft Brew or something like that, that would be a little excruciating for me. If you guys remember, I would bring like the Batman board game to Gamecraft Brew, and I would have to bring those 2 obnoxiously big boxes in order for us to play. So for this game, Mythic Battles, I would have to do the same thing. I would have to bring the core box, and I would have to bring Pandora's box so that we could play, and we'd have, you know, fully painted pieces. But even above that, I think I still would have to bring the storage box as well. So it would be even more than I would have to carry for Batman, and that's tough, right? Full disclosure, that's tough, man. I don't know if I can do that, say, more than once. But on the plus side, you know, Andrew has this game, Nelson has this game, Cody has this game, so I could see myself playing it because they have the game too, right? And I could bring my stuff. We could pick a day and call it like Mythic Battles Pantheon Day, and I could break out. We could all bring our stuff, and me and Nelson would be styling because most of our stuff is painted. We'd be like, yeah, our stuff is painted. And then some really rich, like, collector guy would walk up and go, hey man, how'd you get your whole set painted? And I'd be like, what, want to buy it? And then plane ticket. That's the plan. I ran this scenario in my head 1,000 times. That's exactly what will happen, Chris. And yeah, I'll make a boatload of money, and it'll be like the end of Goonies. I could decide to buy a new house, or I could get you your plane ticket. See, I'm giving him a little. See that little swing? He's getting a little. This is what I like about these color shift paints. You go over a dark color like that, and then you start to see it. Just gotta find Mr. Mythic. Look at that. There, now he has a fancy. He's got a fancy chest armors. Look at his magnificent 16 pack that he has molded into his crazy awesome armor. Get the little studs here. I even use it as a little bit of a, just to give you a little bit of bling on some of the other gold pieces of this dude's armor. Mr. Mythic Moneybags. Yeah, I just assume that there's going to be a person walking around with a huge amount of disposable income waiting for a random stranger to break out their their inherited Kickstarter game that they fully painted for a month and go, "Oh, well, good thing you're here because I totally wanted that." Godly muscles. Look at this dude. Yeah, he's looking pretty good. Wow. Could use a little bit of highlights here and there. I had a paint that I bought like specifically for this cloak, and here's the problem. I buy these paints and I forget where they go. I think this is the paint. And it just doesn't look. This looks too dark. This is called yellow olive. And it definitely looks olive, but I wanted it to look a little closer to yellow. All right, let's do a little highlighting stuff on this dude. Man. Says, yeah, still sad about Grant Imahara, dude. He was a good guy. Fun person. And I told you I'm sad about Kelly Preston, right? That made me so sad. Because, like, who didn't have a thing for Kelly Preston, man? She was awesome. Love Kelly Preston. Yeah, we're moving along here. We're doing all right. I'm just going to give this a really rough highlight. Really rough. That way Nelson won't want to take this from me. Actually, I'm next to positive I've already painted one of these for you, Nelson. Next to positive. Right, so you're just going to give this a little rough highlight like that. How are you liking Tejas, Mr. Chris? Is it everything you thought it would be and more? Have you found the hobby store yet? You know, did you Have you already committed to going to ReaperCon? Which is really the only convention I can think of for gaming out in Texas. But ReaperCon is supposed to be super fun. So go to ReaperCon. Go to ReaperCon if you can. Okay. Yeah, I'm quite liking him. I mean, I should actually give... I should give a little bit more, just the odd highlight here and there on the on some of these gold bits, just to kind of throw your eyeballs around a little bit. Ooh, why am I using the worst, like my totally beat up general brush for this? I should actually use the workhorse one to do this. Right, so just enough light to kind of play around with it. What? Wow, that's just great. Yeah, I sabotaged this miniature ever so slightly so that I can keep it. He is a cool mini though. He is very neat. Does not take much. These are fantastic sculpts. Looking forward to the next batch. We're doing pretty well on these. Hermes was always one of my favorite gods of the Greek gods. I just love the messenger god. He's also the god of physicians. He's such a cool, I don't know, he's just always like this cool character in a lot of the stories and stuff that I would read. I guess everyone kind of has their favorite Greek god. He is probably my favorite, but like a lot of people, I also really like Apollo and Hades and Neptune. Those are all super cool. Super cool characters. Gods, I should say. But always really liked, I don't know, I just really like Hermes. He was always, he just has a cool job. And he's stupidly fast, and I like that. So he's doing all right. All right, let's get some actual, like, good highlight colors for this dude. Beep, beep. I need glacial blue. Glacier blue. There it is. As portrayed by Pauly Shore in Disney's Hercules. It's a good reference. I like that. He is quite cool. It just reminded me of him. I barely remember that movie. But yeah. So he's of the guys that I've been painting. He seems his colors definitely look more Greco-Roman than some of the other ones I've been doing. But he's a very fun sculpt, so I'm kind of into it. Right? A little texture here in the bottom of the cloak. There's going to be some fun stuff to be able to play, to paint soon in the other trays. Well, with the speed they are going, they're probably going to be a live action remake any day now. It's true. All the Disney live action remakes. This is true. I don't know. I wish I could care about movies, but I gave up on movies. I gave up on new movies. I'll wait until they're not so new anymore, and then I'll hop on here and be like, "Hey, did you guys see the new Star Wars?" And it's like the old Star Wars. I wouldn't actually do that though, right? I would never want to talk about that. All right, so a little bit of.
What aren't we talking about?
The new Star Wars, which is not the new Star Wars. What up, man?
Okay.
We're also talking about how I don't care about movies. I just don't.
Yeah.
And Grant Imahara dying. So there's a lot of. We have a lot of topics at once going.
Yeah, I just saw that actually a little while ago. And I immediately thought of Comic-Con.
Yeah.
When he showed up to the Malifaux table.
Yeah. I was just talking about that.
Yeah, I remember it was Billy, your brother Paul, and I were just kind of hanging out over one of the tables, and Paul gives him the whole, like, Malifaux thing.
Yeah.
And he comes over to us, and Billy looks at us like, "Do you know who that was?" He goes, "No." It's like, Paul, that's Grant from Mythbusters.
I played a round of Malifaux with that guy. And now, I don't remember if it was... It was a Comic-Con, but it did. I may be remembering different years or something. Huh. Whatever. I hear a tantrum. You hear the tantrum?
No.
Oh, okay. That's good. So what's up, man? What have you been up to?
Just getting by in the post-apocalypse up here.
Nice. Do you have a cool, like a desert? Do you have like a buggy or a racer or like a motorbike with rockets taped to the front?
I think we're about one step away from that.
That's cool.
People up here don't believe that COVID is a thing.
So they just walk out everywhere. They hug each other and exchange fluids regularly.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
Like people at my mom's work were talking about how the brown shirts aren't going to make me wear a mask.
Yes.
And for those of you that don't know what a brown shirt is, it's a Nazi.
Wow. This kid's having a full-blown meltdown out there. I still hear it. I don't know. You can't hear that?
Not really.
Not really? That's good. I guess that's good. Alright. But no painting? You haven't been doing any painting or gaming or anything like that lately?
No gaming. I've been painting a lot of Infinity, though.
That's cool.
Just because that's what I have the most piled up.
What do you play in Infinity? You play Nomads?
Yeah. But I buy. It's like I was doing with M2E. I buy stuff I like, and now I have too much of it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I need to cut down.
Okay. We gotta play some M3E at some point. Been itching to get back on that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, really, really loving Batman right now. Really loving that game.
Yeah, I'm trying to find somewhere I could actually order some Batman. So I want those damn Poison Ivy.
The Poison Ivy sculpts.
Yeah.
Whoa. Whoa, calm down.
It's in here. So they also have a Scarecrow sculpt I want in the Teen Titans box, and there's too many things, basically. That's the moral of the story, is there's too many good things.
Yeah, it's a problem with Batman, right? When we put Batman down for a while, all I wanted was a Zatanna mini. I'm like, it's fine. We don't have to play anymore. I just want to get that Zatanna mini. And then no one could get a Zatanna mini. And then 3rd edition came out. And then I was like, I like this again.
Mm-hmm.
And then I sold most of my my metal crews, which is actually kind of a good thing because a lot of that stuff is obsolete now. Probably one of the biggest downsides to Batman was that a lot of those old metal sculpts are not coming back. So no Catman. Rip Catman. But it also kind of plays into our addiction anyway, because it's like I know I'm gonna buy new stuff. Like when I sold my other Batman stuff, I knew like if I ever like this game again, I'm still gonna end up wanting to buy fresh stuff anyway. So I just honest with myself back then. The problem is I like you. I like too many of the things, so I don't know what I don't know where I'm gonna land crew wise.
Well, I know I'm gonna at least land with not Poison Ivy, Birds of Prey as a mainstay.
Yeah.
And then I want to run Teen Titans, and then also the Soldiers of Fortune box just for Scarecrow.
Yes.
I was glad that model didn't get nixed, because that's probably one of my favorite metal metal Batman models.
Yeah, he used to be a limited edition dude. Right?
No, you're thinking of Sniper Jason.
Oh, okay.
The Scarecrow leader just came in the Scarecrow box, though.
Oh, okay.
Come on, Amazon, don't fail me. And you failed me.
Yes. Wait, what color? Oh, I see. What? Talking myself into these things.
That's nicely painted, but I want one unpainted.
You're looking for a Scarecrow thing?
No, I'm looking for Ivy. I've taken to eBay. It's not helpful. There we go.
I think I want... Yeah, I need to do another layer of this color if I'm going for a white cloak. Going for a white cloak, might as well. We've decided. Going for a white cloak. I'm just gonna paint my way through this, and then it's gonna be a bunch of commissions after this, and then probably back to Batman painting, or painting my own Batman stuff. And a little Malifaux stuff. I want to paint some Malifaux stuff too. I have that guy, that werewolf guy, to paint for Malifaux.
Oh, Werewolf Jim. Yeah, I know
Werewolf
him.
Jim. What's his name?
Know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his actual name.
Yeah. Rufus El Doggo or something. I forget.
Rufus the Doggo.
The Doggo Mans. Yeah. We'll see who shows up Saturday for Guild Ball. Been playing some... I played a little bit of Guild Ball recently. Super rusty at that game. Just not... Lost all my scoring ball vision stuff.
You make the score point.
Yeah. I lost the ability to see a goal that's right in front of me now. To relearn all of that stuff. Yeah, I guess this dude's going to be wearing a lot more white. Because I have decided that he will have a white getup.
Does Night Models have a U.S. distributor? If I order from them, will it be coming from Spain?
It will probably be coming from Spain.
Damn it.
From España. España.
Espanol. It's beautiful.
It's beautiful. I was talking to a guy from Spain on YouTube about that. It was like, every time we talk about Spanish guys talking about miniatures, we always imagine a guy in a Speedo walking around going, "It's beautiful." And he was like, sounds about right.
Oh, but they have the Ivy bundle.
Hide the ball in your jersey and hit it around. Nice. Oh, man. All right. We're almost there, guys. We are almost about to wrap these guys up. And what am I going to paint after this? I don't know. I have an idea. We will paint more Mythic Battles Pantheon. I'll show you. But tomorrow will probably be a lighter painting day because we'll be going over the weekly recap stuff. With Mr. Warboss Tay on this channel. Whoop. Yes. I don't want to bring up this model on air, Mark. But I'm still tempted to buy that thing that I'm not supposed to buy.
Oh, yeah,
right?
From those bastards.
From those, yeah. just, it's frustrating. The thing is, it's because I want to paint something like that. It's been a while since I've painted that style, and I want to, and it bugs me. Oops.
Yeah.
I did the thing you're not supposed to do.
Well, the thing that bugged me the most about that was, I might be mistaken, but I remember in their grand larceny,
yeah,
they promised one-shot pinup. Was that?
Yep.
That might not. I know it was Fiametta. I know she has another one, but.
Mm-hmm.
And it just kind of made me think, like, you can produce an entirely different version of the model that we were promised, but you can't
Produce the
get good on the promise.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
What is your issue?
Or was it all bullshit all along? The production of the thing isn't actually as far along as you would have us believe?
No, it's definitely not. Yes. So how do you determine line of sight for these models? Make it beautiful. Just make it beautiful. Yeah, pretty much. Somebody walked up. How do you play this? Well, you see, you make it beautiful. Hey, you're playing the Batman. You are beautiful.
I was looking at some of the more bigger Poison Ivy models. It's like, how do you determine if somebody has line of sight on this model? Yes.
Yes. Let me explaining to you. Yes. And the sentence just ends there. Let me explaining to you. What's a gas weapon? It is the weapon of the gas.
I'll never forget that. What does a gas weapon do? This weapon is a gas. Cool. Like in Malifaux, if you looked up what's burning, this man is on fire. Okay, cool. I kind of figured that. Oh, I like that.
What is there to know? He's beautiful. He's beautiful.
Speaking of Malifaux, I'm painting up a one of the Kingdom Death face bases to put Terra on. Tora.
Cool.
What the hell her name is?
I kind of want the new Watchmen sculpts. They look cool. My favorite part about that is it's just brainless. Like, you don't have to think about your crew. You're like, oh, I'm playing Watchmen. This is my crew. Like, you don't have to make a list. And the new sculpts do look good.
Yeah, I liked the Batman Who Laughs stuff too. That looked pretty cool.
Yeah. He's beautiful. All right. Pretty happy. Pretty happy. Oh, one more thing I gotta do. As I'm saying, yeah, pretty happy. All right. Just a little red orb at the top of this. His little dealy gig there. All right. Let's do some basing and some tufting. Basing and tufting. It's beautiful. Hey. All right. A little bit of glue here. But yeah, we played Batman. What was that? Saturday, Nelson? Played some Batman. Broke out Court of Owls. Oh, Sean wants to know how things been for you. So get us all caught up to speed on your life.
Pretty quiet. I've mostly been hunkered down at home, going through a bunch of shit, throwing things away I don't need anymore. Like I told Octavius, but I threw away like a gigantic stack of M2E cards, and it was so freeing. It was so freeing.
Yes.
I mean, I'm keeping my 1.5 stat cards because those have like memories attached, but
oh wow, I didn't know you.
Nobody.
They're kind of cool cards just to look at too.
Yeah. It's like I was looking at my old the old like Colette cards or the old Misaki cards. Like I remember that one time that I decapitated somebody's full health teddy. That felt good.
Yeah. I would have to say probably 50% of the reason why I'm back playing Malifaux is because Colette. That's just... she has a playstyle again that's actually good. All right.
Yeah, I like Misaki's too. It's not
Misaki's
just EDJ, but Asian.
Yeah. that was her in M2E.
And 1.5, honestly.
Maybe a little bit more so, 1.5.
Yeah, especially if you're letting Yamaziko, who turned her melee expert into fast for just existing.
Yes. All right. Yeah, I was calling this thing a Shikome. Because it's basically a Shikome.
Yeah, it's basically one of the two Shikome, not the gigantic pancake Shikome.
That sculpt was hilarious.
The sculpt was really cool, but it, like the teddy, was flat as a pancake.
Okay. Yeah, that guy needs... he's got a big old thing of flowers. So yeah, this is so we're doing a 31-day painting challenge. July painting challenge where you hobby for 31 days. You just pledge to hobby for 31 days. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be consecutive. And it doesn't have to be in July, but for convenience sake, we pick July. And you answer a daily question. Here, I'll ask you today's question, which I just had open. It was basically, at what age did you get into the hobby? Who introduced you to the hobby? Basically, just tell us that. Like, how did you get into the hobby? Oh,
well,
your origin story.
There's kind of two answers to this.
Okay.
So I became aware of miniatures when I was, probably maybe like 10 or 11 or something.
Yeah, because your dad...
I play Warhammer with my dad's stuff. But the answer I'm going to go with is when I started hobbying was when I actually met Salcal Malifaux at that Strategicon in like 2010, I'm going to say?
Yeah.
Maybe earlier?
Could have been 2010, 2011, probably.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Okay. Sounds about right.
So, I'll say about, not 9 or 10 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So weird to think about.
I was just remarking that if I died today, that miniature gaming hobby would take up 2/3 of my life. Because I've been doing it for 30 years. So if I died today, it would be like, if you were to be judged based on what you did in your life, I would be judged mostly on this.
I don't even want to think about what I'd mostly be judged for. I'd get to the pearly gates, you'd look me in the eye and say, no.
Let's see. I'm still sour that you played Colette against me in the very first Malifaux game against me. I didn't know what to do because I never read the rules and didn't know how to play when you make my characters disappear. Yeah, I gave you a negative play experience. It's too bad. I chased you away. I chased you away from the game. I did. I didn't mean to though. He kept attacking Colette. I figured that was safe. It was a safe demo because I'm like, I'll just do a bunch of annoying stuff, but not actually like try to kill anything. But he kept going after her. I was like, stop it! So, negative play experience. I just unqualified myself from ever being a henchman again. Which is okay. I don't think anyone is gonna miss me not being a henchman. All that cosplay. Yeah. But yeah, that's what we're doing for. That's what I'm doing for 31 days, and so you'll see like in the Discord all those like JPC channels. So people are a bunch of locals and stuff are all doing it too. So we're posting all of our projects. And this is my project.
I was thinking of doing it, but I don't want to like commit to something and then not actually do it because I end up sidetracked with one or the other.
Well, I think you do it projects. Anyway. I think because it's not consecutive, like you will definitely hobby for 31 days this year.
Yeah.
That's basically all that's required. Some people do their challenge in like October or whatever, but yeah. And besides, like you could be like, oh, I'm gonna do this project, and then you finish the project, and you're like, I'm not gonna do the rest of 31 days. Cool.
Maybe I'll kickstart it. I'll kickstart it in August.
Yeah.
And order like shitload of poison ivy stuff and paint that up.
Yes.
It's 31 days of poison ivy sounds pretty dope.
Also, I'm curious to know if anyone would be interested in trying out this game with me. That's going to be on Kickstarter, I think, next month. And it's like it's almost like a BattleTech or 40K epic scale. It's like 12 millimeter scale. I'll have some starter sets painted up for it, and then we could try it out. I have to do a review of the game, so let me know if anyone's interested in doing that kind of thing. I was like, what if I try to take her out instead? Oh, yeah.
Mistake number one.
It not work that way. I mean, there's definitely ways to take out Colette. There's ways to get around her defense and that kind of thing. But if you didn't build for it at the start of the game, if you didn't build specifically to do it, don't bother trying it. Because it's just too good of a game plan if you're attacking her, but you don't actually have the tools to kill her.
This is true.
Meanwhile, Batman plays a lot like Malifaux, believe it or not. But doesn't have all the card flippiness.
I mean, I'm fine with that.
So imagine, it's highly objective based like Malifaux is, but when it comes to combat, you do almost like Batman, a shorthand version of the Batman combat you remember. So instead of like allocating all the dice and stuff, you do your attack, and you just get your full attack, and then you can effort, which is you basically buy or subtract dice with stun markers. So if like I'm defending against your attack, I can say, I'm going to effort up to 3. And I'm going to say, I'm just going to give myself 3 stun, and that's going to take 3 of your attack dice away. And then you could turn around and go, oh, well, I will effort 3 stun and give myself the 3 dice back. But now each player has just put 3 stun on their characters, and so characters go down super quick. And so combat is like really fast and brutal and decisive. But like Malifaux, it doesn't mean anything to the outcome of the game unless you have specific objectives that say KO a person or take out a person. But most of the objectives are like Malifaux. You have suspect markers instead of objective markers. So like how you interact in Malifaux to drop a scheme marker. You do that in this game to drop a suspect marker. It is essentially the same thing, and you have this. You have a deck of cards that you rotate through that give you different objectives that you can score from. And I'm so mad that they came out with that, because I swear to you, I'm not making this shit up, but I actually had that baked into the game I was designing. That you would flip through a deck of cards that would tell you, oh, here's your objective for this, and but they improved on the idea, because they have the objective cards. If you decide not to score on an objective card, or that you can't score an objective, the bottom half of the card is a resource that you can play. So you use it for one or the other. And it's actually super fun. It's like, oh, okay, so I'm not going to get this objective, so I'm going to spend the card to give me like +4 movement, or I'm going to spend the card to allow me to do something else. And it makes the game super fun. But yes, that is the deal. And I stopped painting because I'm not sure what color eyes to give Faker Shinron. He's kind of like sleeping Shinron. I love his face.
Shinron.
I love his face. He looks, with the white eyes like that, he looks fairly happy. Maybe I just leave it like that. He's just Muppet Shinron. He's kind of cool.
I can dig it.
He's kind of cool. Muppet Shinron. That guy. Yeah, what am I going to paint next? I think I'm going to paint. Let's grab like 6 miniatures to paint. This would be fun. This guy, because he's weird. This dude. Let's just do a bunch of the small stuff. This will go quick. Actually, that's way too much stuff for tomorrow. I think I should only do like 2 things. This guy. Let's do this guy. And let's do 3 things. Let's do 4 things. Let's do 4 things. Okay. I'm going to stop myself there. Let's just do 4 things. Okay. I mean, the Batman game sounds entertaining. It is super fun. But the best part about the new changes to Batman is that because it's more like a Malifaux type objective scoring game, that it's far less important to build the super teams. You just so like I know me and Mark play this way. We center our Batman crews around models we like and want to put on the board. It has very little to do with whether or not it's a good team. We just like that sculpt, or we like these
Yeah.
two, or you like, in your case, like you like these two characters running around together in the fluff. So you will field like one character with another character because you like them together. So stuff like that. We don't have, we didn't like set out to like, oh man, if I do this guy and you'll not be able to defeat you with this guy. Like we don't really do that in Batman, and this edition is like perfect for that.
As my thought process for even first and second edition was, ooh, look, Harley, we're gonna run that.
Yeah, you had every Harley iteration and every Jason Todd iteration. But do you have? I was going to ask, do you have the latest one? Do you have the Jason
don't.
Todd Robin? They have them in CQ.
I want the Rebirth Jason Todd. The one with the crowbar, and his fancy base has like his gravestone on it.
Oh,
I really want that one. Because that one is like my favorite design for Red Hood, or one of my favorite.
I wonder where you can find that. That's probably going to be super hard to find.
Yeah, that's what I've been looking at. I was thinking like, because my birthday's coming up and my grandparents usually send me like $200. I was thinking I'd just put in an order from the website, because they have a Poison Ivy bundle that's like the big one with the green skin and Frank the Plant.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
just throw like...
Chris has those.
Yeah, and then just throw like Red Hood in there too, and that'd be... The bundle was like $75, and I think the model was something...
Have you seen the new Katana sculpt?
I have, and I absolutely love it.
I need it in my life bad. Like, I need that.
I used to think that the best Katana sculpt was the movie sculpt, but that is the new best Katana sculpt. I have that in my Birds of Prey list.
Yes.
My Birds of Prey list is just Poison Ivy, Harley, Katana, Frank the Plant, and a bunch of little plants.
Nice.
Oh, and the hyena. Because I had like 30 points left.
Bruce or whatever?
Yeah, Bruce the hyena.
Yes. Look at this guy. He's Snack Trojan Man.
He's a snackest.
I'm going to paint Snack. Tomorrow I'll work on Snack Trojan Man. I'll work on...
I work on some Death Marshal.
I forget the name of this character. I have to carry the stone guy. Master Roshi.
Oh, Sisyphus.
Sisyphus. But he's Master Roshi.
I mean, yeah.
Master Roshi. Sickle arms women ladies.
But is it the Electrocutioner?
Electrocutioner. And Misplaced Viking. I'm not sure. Is this guy... What?
Might be like Odin.
What's he doing in this game? I'm in the next Kickstarter, not this one. Who is this guy?
Well, the Romans and the Vikings did probably met.
Yeah, for sure.
Did battle.
Yeah.
So maybe he's just random Viking guy number 37 that got lost.
Maybe. Well, yeah, we'll paint these guys tomorrow. So it's a smaller batch for tomorrow, but fun. She looks like she's fun.
Spider legs lady.
Spider, look at her She's got this weird carapace here on the back. The hard plastic they use on weapons is nice. The Viking is a promo for second series. Oh, yeah. So he is from Ragnarok. Just chilling.
I mostly want Frank the Plant so I can sing, like, I'm going to learn the entirety of the Little Shop of Horrors
Yeah, Little
soundtrack
Shop of Horrors.
and just sing that every time he activates. Feed me!
He has that mechanic. He swallowed, what was that guy? He swallowed Henry Ballard last game. Feed me! And I tried to jump out of the plant and failed my roll. Feed me! So yeah. Uh-oh. Alright, let's see who's going, if anyone's going to the thing. Bing might be showing up. That's cool. He beat up my my order with his blacksmiths last game that we played. Because cast is amazing. He runs cast and sledge. So you just die. and then his third apprentice is iron. So he just parks the ball on iron and just kills you with the other two guys. Ferdinand. Cool. Well, we are done. I guess I could seal them. I should seal them. I'll work on these guys tomorrow because they're cool. And we'll do a recap. So if you are wanting to post your stuff on the Discord so that we could cover it on air tomorrow, please do so. I'll be with War Boss Tay will be my guest. And I guess I think we're dual streaming, so I will be the guest on his show. He'll be the guest on my show. I'm gonna seal these medals with this thing. Oh man,
It's not the Teen Titans box though.
Oh, I want that too. That Starfire though.
I just like that I can build like. See, I can run Rebirth Red Hood in that list, and that's kind of worth it for me.
Yeah, you're gonna build lists for Red Hood. I'm gonna build lists where I can field Bronze Tiger.
Yeah, pretty much all my lists are gonna have Ivy, Harley, or Red Hood in them.
Yes.
Because I am a predictable man, a creature of habit. So that's what I'm looking for.
I've been debating getting Hawk Girl. And I know Hawk Girl is one of your favorites.
I have a Hawk Girl, actually.
You have a metal Hawk Girl, don't you?
I do.
That's Crazy Town.
I need to reattach her wings. And
they have a resin Hawk Girl at CQ.
Yeah, I remember I started painting her in the black because I think in one of the Arrowverse shows she had a black suit and I liked the way that looked.
Cool.
I have 2 different Robins here too, sitting next to me.
Which Robin?
One of them is Tim Drake, and then one of them is like Kid Dick Grayson.
Oh, cool! Boy Wonder.
Yeah, and I have the Batman that comes in that set too.
Yes, that was a great set. Damn it! This game has too many amazing things that we love.
Yeah. Of course, I also had my eye on the 3rd edition Misaki box.
I also really love the new Shiva, and any excuse to field Talia al Ghul.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I guess I'm playing
Titans. I'll play Titans so I can actually finally use my Raven model.
Yeah, they don't have magic out yet, so it might be a little bit before you could really use her.
Well, it's going to be a little bit. It's going to be a little bit before I can even come down there.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
the world is going to end.
Yeah. I want to. Yeah, there's too many things. Too many things I want for Batman. I have to decide what to get next. The easiest purchase would be Watchmen, but am I really gonna play Watchmen? I don't know. Then failing that, League of Shadows is such a cool set. I might do that. Who knows? I've also really always wanted to play Riddler. So I might look into getting his set because I love the thugs in that set. I don't know, it's something about that green and the purple. It's just so cool. That set, that's like one of the best. Matt has a Riddler crew. It's like one of the best looking crews when you put it on the board. Damn.
Yeah.
I just have to decide what I really like. I don't think I get Riddler though until they do hit Riddler's objective deck, because I think Riddler will struggle with the generic deck. So the way they're doing it is you have your objective deck. It's 20 cards. Like I said, you flip you have a hand of 4 cards, and you're trying to either score those 4 cards as VPs, or you're trying to use them as resources so that you could cycle your cards and get the objectives that you think you can score during the game. The game only lasts 4 turns, which is amazing, and most models only get 1 action. So it's super fast. And what you do is, instead of raise the plan with all the dice and all that, you have these audacity markers. And you get 4 markers for your crew. And for each model that you assign an audacity marker to, they get to do their whole activation. In other words, they get to do a move, they get to do an interact or attack, and they get to do a special. So that's it. So it's way faster. And super convenient. But yeah, the objective decks are important. Like, I think right now, Batman, Joker, League of Assassins, Suicide Squad. No, sorry. Batman, Joker, League of Assassins, and Birds of Prey all have objective decks. And everybody who doesn't currently have an objective deck uses the generic deck, which I played last game with Court of Owls, and it didn't seem that bad. It's actually, Court of Owls handled the objective deck pretty well, because you're able to run. You could field a lot of models with Court of Owls if you don't take the what's it called, the Gotham Butcher. You can field a lot. I do want to get another set of models, but I should probably wait to play it. Yeah, well, I went to Staples, and had them print every 3rd edition card. So it cost me a little bit of money to do that, but I do have every card current for the game. I just have to cut them out of the cardstock and drop them into sleeves. And then, which is something I need to do soon because I want to play more Batman. But yeah. And yeah, so that's tonight. That's what we got done, guys. It's these guys. Mr. Pan, they're all too shiny right now to really care because I just sealed them. But oh, I didn't do. Oh, I did. It's like it didn't seem like I did much on Helios, but I did. He does have that cool. I don't know if you can. I don't know if you can see that on camera. The color shift on his chest there, his 12 pack. Anyway, I am going to hit the hay because I got to get up early for work tomorrow, guys. So I'm going to call it here. So, yeah. Have a good night, guys. Thanks for hopping on, Mark.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, I'll talk to you soon.